The next top story is world's most livable city. The world's most livable cities in 2025 from The Economist. This is territory from Den, June 18th, 17 comments, 884 cents. Keyan, what's this?
Yeah, these are fun little stories. They do these like world rankings on something that is like quite subjective, but they try to like make it objective, and this is the case with this. And I guess The Economist is fairly well known for doing this with livable cities. But you have like places. I think it's like world. I think it's World News. They do a they do these rankings with universities, but you get lots of rankings like these. But everyone loves to look at these, even though that we know they're all kind of flawed. But I guess the big deal this year was that the the top city for the I think the last few years was Vienna, Austria, and it has fallen out of its top spot. I think yeah, it is now in spot two and not one anymore. I think because they cite I think terrorist attacks. They had two two terrorist scares. I don't think they actually had two terrorist attacks. Yeah, they said two foiled terrorist attacks, and then um, yeah. So they said like stability is like global instability is kind of what they say has really changed the list, because one of the factors is like how safe an area is, obviously, for how livable it is. And a lot of the places that they cite as being most livable are actually places in Australia, which I find interesting because they went through such a weird time during COVID with like they had some of the most intense lockdowns. But maybe that makes it more livable if you're not one of the people who's locked up and quarantined. Osaka, Japan, is another one. Zurich, Switzerland, Copenhagen. Where is Denmark? I think.
Osaka.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
I always
Osaka.
hear great
I
things
like
about Osaka.
from who?
Just hear the YouTube stuff, like just seeing like YouTube stuff. Like I always see travel videos and I love watching those travel videos.
Yeah, Japan's a cool place. It's
Yeah,
they really
I really want to go to Japan. Really want to go to Japan at some point.
yeah, it's like one of the oldest countries, or it seems like one of the oldest countries, and they're like relatively Western. You have like countries that
Yeah.
are like maybe it's because we were sort of we had we had a relatively close alliance. It feels like, at least when they were producing most of our electronics, and it created a lot of like cultural crossover that we don't really have with many other places that are quite different than us and a lot older. But yeah, it seems
Yeah.
like a really cool
It just
place.
feels like a
Kia,
totally different world. You know what I mean? Like it just feels like a totally different world.
yeah, but it's still on some level relatable,
Yeah.
um, which is I think unique,
Yeah.
which is cool. Anyway, that's if you want to. So if you want to go somewhere very livable, go to Copenhagen or Vienna, according to The Economist. Or just it seems like you could throw a dart at Australia and you land in.
What's this city livability index thing? What does that mean? And then it like dips. Why is it dip for? Is that by
Yeah,
the
that's
year or
what
something?
I don't think they know, but that's something that Den points out is what happened or why did all these places that are at the top of the list now, why did they dip
Because of
in
COVID,
what
maybe?
looks like 2021? Yeah, maybe they had some of the worst COVID lockdowns.
Restrictions, maybe. That
Yeah,
makes
maybe that
sense.
maybe part of what makes these places livable is that the government is like intervenes a lot, and
Mm,
they have a relatively high proportion of what goes on in their cities is like government driven, and when the government is bad, it's really bad. But when it's good, it's great. So maybe that's what you see. I don't know.
yeah, that's interesting.